AI Tools News, August 1st, 2026 episode. Welcome back to AI Maddie 369. It's August 1st, and this episode is all about July 2026 in AI tools, a month where Anthropic dropped a major new flagship model, Notebook LM changed its name, and ChatGPT waded straight into your medical records. Let's get into it. Segment 1, ChatGPT, OpenAI. OpenAI's biggest move this month was rolling health in ChatGPT out to every adult user in the US. It pulls in data from Apple Health, MyFitnessPal, and medical record systems like Epic and Oracle Health, so you can ask health questions in any regular conversation instead of a separate tab. Here's why it matters. OpenAI says it's now fielding roughly 300 million health-related questions a week, so this isn't a side feature. It's OpenAI meeting people where they were already going for answers. But the launch landed one day after a lawsuit alleging ChatGPT gave a user a near-fatal suggestion not to consult a doctor, so the trust question is very much alive. OpenAI also quietly shipped GPT-Live, a full-duplex voice model that can listen and talk at the same time without waiting for you to finish. Practical takeaway: if you use ChatGPT for health questions, treat the answer as a smart first draft you bring to an actual clinician, not a diagnosis.
Segment 2. Claude, Anthropic. Anthropic's headline release was Claude Opus 5, a genuine step up for its top-tier model that Anthropic is positioning as near-frontier intelligence at the same price as the previous Opus. $5 per million input tokens, 25 for output, while reportedly beating rival flagships on coding and reasoning benchmarks. Why it matters. Opus has always been the send it and trust it model for long, agentic tasks, and Anthropic says this version checks its own work more before finishing, which is exactly the failure mode that's kept a lot of people from letting AI run unsupervised. Anthropic also expanded Claude's voice mode to Opus and Sonnet models across 11 languages and rebuilt its memory system to save individual, categorized facts instead of daily summaries. Practical takeaway: if you're running long multi-step agent workflows in Claude, this is the month to retest them on Opus 5. The cost is unchanged, but the ceiling just moved.
Segment 3, Google Gemini. Google's biggest Gemini news was a trio of new models, Gemini 3.6 Flash, 3.5 Flash Lite, and a specialized cybersecurity model called 3.5 Flash Cyber, with 3.6 Flash cutting output token usage by around 17% while getting meaningfully more accurate on coding benchmarks. Why it matters. Google is explicitly optimizing for cost and speed here rather than raw power, which tells you where the real fight in AI right now is happening. Not who's smartest, but who's cheapest to run at scale. For the agents, everyone's building on top of these models. On top of that, Google rolled out its end-of-month Gemini drop, adding voice dictation on macOS, personalized image generation, and direct app connections to services like Dropbox and Zillow. Practical takeaway: if you're building anything that calls the Gemini API in volume, 3.6 Flash is worth benchmarking against whatever you're currently using. The price-to-performance jump is real.
Segment 4, Microsoft Copilot. Microsoft's biggest Copilot update was turning Copilot notebooks into a document factory. You can now take a messy notebook full of research, links, and half-formed notes and have Copilot turn it directly into a finished Word doc, Excel sheet, or PowerPoint deck, plus generate interactive mind maps from the same material. Why it matters. This closes the exact gap that made AI note-taking feel like a toy. Collecting information was never the hard part. Turning it into something you could actually send was. And Microsoft just automated that last mile inside the apps people already live in. Copilot also expanded further into SharePoint this month, with better document-grounded answers. Practical takeaway: if you've been using Copilot notebooks just to gather research, start testing the Quick Create options. You may be able to skip the blank document stage entirely on your next report.
Segment 5. Cursor. Cursor's biggest news was landing on iPad, a full app with a pinned sidebar for chats, a complete pull request review surface with comments and checks, and support for Bitbucket and Azure DevOps alongside GitHub so you can review and steer coding agents from a tablet instead of being chained to a laptop. Why it matters? Cursor is increasingly betting that the valuable part of coding is reviewing and directing agents rather than typing every line yourself, and that's a task you genuinely can do from a couch or a coffee shop. This is Cursor building for that shift, not just porting an editor. The same month, Cursor also shipped Cursor Router, which automatically picks the cheapest, fastest, or smartest model for a given task in auto mode. Practical takeaway: if your team is burning budget on always using the priciest model, turn on Cursor Router's cost-optimized mode and see what actually breaks. Usually nothing does.
Segment 6. Perplexity, including Comet. Perplexity's biggest update bundled a lot into one release. Enterprise-grade role-based access controls, a credential vault so its Comet assistant can securely log into third-party sites on your behalf, global rollout of its brain memory system to max subscribers in 15 languages, and, notably, Claude Opus 5 now powering Search and Comet Assistant at a fraction of the usual cost. Why it matters. Perplexity is racing to become less of a search box and more of an assistant that can actually act on the web for you. And this release is them building the trust infrastructure, permissions, credentials, source verification, that agentic browsing needs before regular people will hand it real tasks. They also added a check sources tool that verifies claims against the underlying evidence right next to the answer. Practical takeaway: if you've been hesitant to let Comet Assistant log into accounts for you, the new credential vault and permission controls are worth a second look.
Segment 7. Midjourney. Midjourney's update this month was version 8.2, a personalization-focused refresh that leans harder into bolder, more sophisticated, edgy imagery and cuts down on the flat, generic outputs the model used to produce, especially for users with a long ratings history it can learn from. Why it matters: Midjourney has quietly stopped chasing photorealism as the main selling point and started competing on taste, on making images that look like they came from a specific person's eye rather than an average of the internet, which is a much harder thing for competitors to copy. Practical takeaway: if you haven't rated images inside Midjourney in a while, spend 10 minutes doing that before your next big generation session. V8.2's personalization is only as good as the taste data it has to work with.
Segment 8. HeyGen. HeyGen's biggest story was its shift from a video editing tool into what it's calling an agentic video platform, anchored by hyperframe skills. 9 automated workflows, including turning a website or a GitHub pull request straight into a narrated video, plus a real-time avatar API that lets an avatar livestream and respond in real time, which HeyGen demoed by putting an avatar on Twitch 24/7 answering coding questions. Why it matters. This is HeyGen betting that the next wave of AI video isn't generate one polished clip. It's run a video producing agent continuously, and the company backed that bet by reporting it's now at $200 million in annual revenue, roughly doubling in 8 months. They also shipped Speech Cleanup, which removes filler words from a take and hides the cut visually instead of leaving a jump cut. Practical takeaway: if you're making explainer or product content, try the website to video or PR to video skill before you script your next one from scratch.
Segment 9. Notebook LM. Google. The biggest Notebook LM news wasn't a feature, it was a name. Google renamed Notebook LM to Gemini Notebook, rolling the new name and logo out gradually over several weeks, with existing shared notebooks and links auto-redirecting so nothing breaks. Why it matters: Google explicitly said the new name reflects how it will evolve to do more across the Google ecosystem. This is Google folding one of its most loved standalone AI products into the Gemini brand umbrella, which usually means deeper integration is coming for better or worse, and it's worth watching whether Notebook stays the focused research tool people fell in love with or slowly grows into a Gemini feature. Practical takeaway: if you've bookmarked or embedded Notebook LM links anywhere, don't panic. The redirects are automatic, but do expect the interface and app icon to shift under you over the next few weeks.
Segment 10, N8N. N8N's biggest release was an AI workflow builder that lets non-technical users describe what they want and get a working automation back, paired with native MCP support. So any N8N workflow can now act as a callable tool for outside AI agents, not just a thing you trigger manually. Why it matters. As one write-up put it, this is the release that turns N8N from Zapier you host yourself into a control plane for AI agents. And that MCP piece matters way more than it sounds, because it's the same protocol Anthropic and Perplexity both pushed forward this month too, which means your automations can now genuinely plug into the same agent ecosystem as Claude and other AI tools instead of living in their own silo. Practical takeaway: if you've built N8N workflows before, go check whether MCP support is enabled. You may be able to expose an existing workflow as a tool an AI agent can call directly.
Bonus segment, one to watch, 8090 Labs Software Factory. Outside the usual 10, the tool that made the most noise this month was 8090 Labs Software Factory, which just closed a $135 million Series A led by Salesforce Ventures. Instead of another general-purpose coding assistant, it's a vertical AI agent built specifically for regulated industries like healthcare and aerospace, and EY reportedly deployed it across tens of thousands of consultants for a claimed 70% lift in software development productivity. Why it matters: it's a signal of where the next phase of the AI tools market is heading. Not bigger general models, but narrower tools built to actually pass compliance and audit requirements in industries that couldn't touch general AI tools before. Worth keeping an eye on if you work anywhere near healthcare, finance, or aerospace software.
Verdict of the month. If I had to pick the one story that mattered most this month, it's not any single model release. It's what all of them add up to. Look at the pattern. Anthropic pushed its Model Context Protocol past 400 million monthly downloads and 950 connected servers. Perplexity built out credential vaults and permission controls, so Comet Assistant can safely act on your behalf. And N8N shipped native MCP support, specifically so its workflows can be called by outside AI agents. That's 3 completely different companies in the same month, all building toward the same thing: AI agents that can actually plug into each other and into the tools you already use instead of living in separate walled gardens. My verdict, and my recommendation, is that MCP is the infrastructure story of the year, not a footnote. If you only have time to learn one boring technical concept this year, make it Model Context Protocol. Start with N8N if you're not a developer, since it gives you a visual way to build and expose MCP-compatible tools without writing code. This is the plumbing the next generation of AI tools is being built on, and understanding it now puts you ahead of most people still just comparing chatbot benchmarks.
Recap. So, to recap, OpenAI pushed ChatGPT deeper into your health data and shipped a real-time voice model. Anthropic dropped Claude Opus 5 at no extra cost and pushed MCP forward. Google launched cheaper, faster Gemini models and renamed Notebook LM to Gemini Notebook. Microsoft turned Copilot notebooks into a document generator. Cursor landed on iPad and added smart model routing. Perplexity built out Comet's permissions and credentials. Midjourney leaned into personalization with V8.2. HeyGen went agentic with hyperframes and live avatars. And N8N became a genuine control plane for AI agents with native MCP support. Plus, keep an eye on 8090 Labs Software Factory as a rising name in vertical AI coding tools. Finally, this is AI Maddie. If this kind of tracking is useful to you, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Add AI Maddie 369 on YouTube so you don't miss next month's Roundup. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.